Hey everyone, Namaste. Welcome on my channel once again. I'm here with my new video and we have an uphill task to do today. I'm gonna give you the Governor Generals, the list of Governor Generals in this video, and via the list of Governor Generals we are going to revise modern Indian history, the whole modern Indian history from 1773 till 1947. We are going to talk about all the major events which have happened under various Governor Generals. So we have an uphill task to do. But before coming to our major portion of the lecture, I just want to ask two, three things from you guys. If you're liking what I'm doing here and if it's helping you in any way, do subscribe to my channel, like on this video. If you have any suggestion, or if you just want to say something, say hello, hi, or whether you like this video or not, just drop a comment as well. Press the bell icon so that you get the update of if any video gets uploaded on the channel. So press the bell icon please, and also help me to spread the reach of this channel by sharing it with your friends and peers, whoever wants or whoever need it. Now, coming back to our session, we are going to, like I have mentioned, we are going to talk about like all the governor generals. So quickly, let's get back to it, and I'm gonna rush through it like pretty quickly. So yeah, just be focused. Now, the very first governor general, if we talk about, so it was your Warren Hastings. He remained in office in from 1773 to 1785. And during his time period, we have seen the regulating acts being passed in 1773. Apart from regulating act, we have also seen the Act of 1781. It was passed. This Act of 1781, it actually made a clear demarcation between the jurisdiction of Governor General in Council and that of the Supreme Court of Calcutta. That's why this 1781 Act was important. Apart from that, we also found that Pitt's India Act was also passed during his time period. And the Pitt's India Act, it was in 1784. Now, one more thing is that we have the Rohilla War at this point in 1774. The Rohilla War was fought, and the annexation of Rohilkhand was also happened by the Nawab of Awadh. Rohilkhand, it was annexed by Nawab of Awadh, and in this annexation, British helped him. So it happened in 1774. The very first Maratha War, which happened from 1775 to 1782, it was fought in this time period. We also find the Treaty of Salbai happened. Treaty of Salbai, which brought peace of 20 years among the Britishers and the Anglo-Maratha. It was also signed in 1782. We have the Second Anglo-Mysore War, which was fought here. The Second Anglo-Mysore War was also fought during his time period only. The Second Mysore War, it was from 1780s to 1784. We all know like first one was fought from 1766 to 1769. Certain other things happened here, like we have Raja of Banaras, Chat Singh. The Britishers came in conflict with him, so Chat Singh affair happened here. Then the Nand Kumar episode happened. Nand Kumar, who got in this personal animosity with Warren Hastings, where he charged him of corruption. This thing happened. The foundation of Asiatic Society of Bengal happened. Asiatic Society of Bengal. It was founded at this point of time period. This thing happened in 1784. Sir William Jones, he was instrumental in it, in this thing. And in 1785, Warren Hastings, he returned to England. Impeachment proceedings were started against him in the House of Lords by Edmund Burke. The persons were Edmund Burke and Edmund Burke, apart from Charles James Fox. Charles James Fox. Then we have one Sheridan. And apart from Sheridan, we have Gilbert Elliot. These people, they started the impeachment proceedings against Warren Hastings. He was defended as well by Edward Law, Plummer, and Dallas. After a prolonged trial of 7 years, he was finally acquitted. So he was your Warren Hastings. I'm so sorry for hodgepodge. We have to cover this whole topics. That's why like you'll have to bear it with me. जितनी चीज़ें मुझे याद रहेंगी according to like regarding modern Indian history, we are gonna like I'm gonna tell you all those things. Moving on to the next governor general, we have Lord Cornwallis. He succeeded won Hastings in 1786. Third Anglo-Mysore War उनके time period पे होता है. The Mysore War was important. 1790 से 1792 के बीच में. Then we have this Treaty of Seringpatnam happened. With that, this war was completed. 1792, the Treaty of Seringpatnam happened. The introduction of permanent settlement, permanent revenue settlement. This thing happened. Permanent settlement. This thing happened here. The introduction of that. Apart from that, this permanent settlement or like the zamindari system, same hai. So it was introduced in 1793. Your Lord Cornwallis, he was also credited with bringing out the reformation of the judiciary. He set up courts at different levels and separation of revenue administration from judicial administration. He also introduced the civil services and reforms to purify and improve administration as well. So like Cornwallis Code, you must have heard about it. So it was introduced by him. He got succeeded, Lord Cornwallis, he was succeeded by Sir John Shore. Sir John Shore, he was in the office from 1793 to 1798. He played a very instrumental role in the permanent settlement, because permanent settlement, it was kind of like his own imagination. Okay, we hear about the Shore Papers. So basically, yeah, permanent settlement was introduced in 1793, and he played an important role as the president of the Board of Revenue at that time period. But his governor generalship was uneventful, but he was the one who carried forward this permanent settlement, which was introduced in Bengal Presidency. Now, moving on, Sir John Shore के बाद we have Lord Wellessley, a hardcore imperialist. He succeeded. He remained in office from 1798 to 1805. He introduced this very infamous or famous Subsidiary Alliance Treaty in 1798. This Subsidiary Alliance, it was introduced here. I'm hoping that everybody knows about Subsidiary Alliance. The first Subsidiary Treaty, it was signed with in 1798 only with the Nizam of Hyderabad. So he signed the first subsidiary treaty. In the time period, we have seen that the fourth Mysore War happened. The fourth Mysore War, it happened during the time of Lord Wellessley in 1799. Tipu was defeated. Many parts of Mysore, it was annexed. One more thing, Marathas, they were also like practically they were subjugated here, because the Treaty of Bassein, it was signed. The Treaty of Bassein, it was signed. It was a subsidiary treaty which have been signed under Lord Wellessley. It was signed in 1802. Second Maratha War, quickly after it, it followed from 1803 to 1805. Second Anglo-Maratha War, it also happened during his time period. It was his time period we have find the formation of Madras Presidency happened. So Madras Presidency, it was formed during the time period of Lord Wellesley after the annexation of the kingdoms of Tanjore and Carnatic. After annexing these two kingdoms, Tanjore and Carnatic, your Madras Presidency, it came into being. So it was your Lord Wellesley. When Lord Wellesley, he was recalled in 1805 because of his affairs with Mysore and then with your Marathas. His expansionist policies, it was not liked by many people in Britain. That's why like चीज़ों को ठीक करने के लिए Lord Cornwallis, he was sent again in to succeed your Lord Wellesley, but Lord Cornwallis, he couldn't remain in office for long. He succeeded in June, but he died in September, and he was in office at that time period. He was like in 1805, I'm talking about. So in 1805, Lord Cornwallis, he was the Governor General for just 2-3 months, but he died in what is your modern Ghazipur. You know, Ghazipur, he died. Ghazipur is in UP. After Cornwallis died in 1805, your Sir George Barlow, he was sent as a Governor General. Sir George Barlow. Sir George Barlow, he remained the Governor General for 2 years from 1805 till 1807. And during his time period, if we talk about certain important events, so the main event which happened during Sir George Barlow, it was the Vellore Mutiny. This Vellore Mutiny, a very important mutiny which happened by your like soldiers, Vellore mutiny. It happened in 1806. Anyway, Lord Minto came from 1807 to 1813. If we talk about Lord Minto, some important progress happened in your northwest India. A treaty of Amritsar had been signed, Treaty of Amritsar, with your Raja Ranjit Singh. So Treaty of Amritsar came into being 1809. During this time period only, we have found like a very important act, Charter Act of 1813. It was also signed. So many new things related to education, related to trade, monopoly. All these things have been mentioned in this Charter Act of 1813. I hope you guys already know about it. Moving on, we have Lord Hastings. Lord Hastings succeeded your Lord Minto. He remained in office from 1813 to 1823. During his time period, the major event which happened, the first was from 1814 to 1816, your Gorkha War happened. From 1814 to 1816, Gorkha War or war with Nepal happened. Due to his success in this war, he was made as Marquis of Hastings. He was awarded by the British government. During his time period only, in 1817-18, we have found that the Third Anglo-Maratha War happened. Third Anglo-Maratha War happened during his time period only. After the result of this Third Anglo-Maratha War, the Peshwaship it was abolished, annexation of all his territories happened, creation of a Bombay Presidency happened. So Bombay Presidency, it was created here after Madras. We have Bombay Presidency got created in 1818. This 1817-18 Third Anglo-Maratha War, it was also sometimes called as, the major issue was the Pindaris. So it was also called as Pindari War. It happened during the time of Lord Hastings only. During his time period, we have found a new kind of revenue settlement introduced in your Madras, especially in your Madras and Bombay Presidency. That was your Raiyatwari settlement. So this Raiyatwari settlement in Madras Presidency, it was uh, introduced by the governor of Madras in 1820. The governor was Thomas Munro. We all know him. Moving on, we have the next Lord Amherst. Lord Amherst, he succeeded your Lord Hastings, and during his time period, Lord Amherst's time period, we have found the first Burmese war happened. The first Burmese war, which went on from 1824 to 1826. This war, it was concluded with Treaty of Yandabu. ये क्वेश्चन आ चुका है important. During his time period only in 1826, Bharatpur was captured. This princely state, Bharatpur, it was captured during your Lord Amherst. Now, after Lord Amherst, we have the next one. He was Lord William Bentinck. After Lord Amherst, we have Lord William Bentinck. He remained in office from 1828 to 1835. During his time period, many things happened. First thing, the prohibition of sati happened. So this sati system, it was abolished during the time period of Lord William Bentinck in 1829. The regulation and all those things you should remember. The suppression of Thuggy, it also happened. So Thuggy Act. Thuggy. The person who is important in this whole Thuggy affair, it was Sleeman. Remember his name. So 1829 to 35, the suppression of Thuggis happened via various ordinances and act. During his time period only, we have found that the Charter Act of 1833 it came into being and it kind of concluded the generalization process. Macaulay's Minute was also introduced during this time period. Macaulay's Minute in 1835. The English was formally introduced as the medium of instruction. Visit of Ram Mohan Roy to England happened at this point of time period. Ram Mohan Roy, he visited England in 1830, and in fact he died as well in England, in London only in 1833. We all know why he went there, on the behalf of Mughal king, a Mughal emperor. The deposition of Raja of Mysore and annexation of his territories happened. So Mysore was finally annexed in 1831 during the time of Lord Bentinck alone. इसके अलावा भी कुछ annexations हुए, like the annexation of Kachar and Jaintia hills, the annexations of Kachar and Jaintia. It happened in your 1832. 1832, annexation of Kachar and Jaintia happened. Annexation of Coorg happened. Annexation of Coorg happened in 1834. Yeah, annexation of Coorg happened in 1834. And in 1834 only we find the province of Agra. It was formed. Agra as a separate province. It was established in 1834. This thing also, this time period also saw the abolition of the provincial courts of appeal and circuit and appointment of commissioners instead. So instead of provincial court, instead of appeal and circuit court, the appointment of commissioner. So commissionerate, it started from this time period only. We after your Lord Bentinck, the next Governor General which we find is your Lord Auckland. Lord Auckland, he succeeded Lord William Bentinck. He remained in office from 1835 to 1842. Before Auckland, guys, Sir Metcalfe, who was in charge of administration for a short while, freed the Indian press in press of restriction in 1835. So Charles Metcalfe, he remained in force for some time period. So in 1835, he in fact freed the press. Sometimes that's why like Charles Metcalfe is considered as the liberator of Indian press. Anyway, he was succeeded by Lord Auckland. He remained in office for a very short time. Lord Auckland, he was the Governor General from 1835 to 1842. Lord Auckland, he is known for his Afghan policies. The Afghan affair, he is known for that. In fact, the first Afghan war, it happened during his time period only, from 1836 till 1842. This first Afghan war happened and it was disastrous for the British in the war, and that's why in fact Lord Auckland, he was recalled. The Britishers, they blamed Sindh for the debacle in Afghan, and ultimately Sindh got annexed in 1843. We know all these things. In 1839, one more thing happened. One very important and ambitious monarch of India, Raja Ranjit Singh, he died here in 1839. So these are some important events which happened under Lord Auckland. Lord Auckland, he was succeeded by Lord Ellenborough. Lord Ellenborough, he was in office from 1842 to 1844. During his time period, we have seen the first thing which happened, that he came, जो भी रायता आपके लॉर्ड ऑकलैंड ने फहराया था उसको समेटने के लिए. So in 1842 the termination of first Afghan war happened. Then we have found, like in 1843, I was just discussing about it, Sindh was annexed. Your Governor General was Lord Ellenborough. Here in 1843, war with Gwalior happened. A Gwalior war happened with under Lord Ellenborough. Now, Lord Ellenborough, he was succeeded by Lord Hardinge. Lord Hardinge, he remained in office from 1844 to 1848. इनके time period पे if we find like the very important thing was 1845 से 1846, the very first Anglo-Sikh war happened. The first Anglo-Sikh war happened from 1845 to 1846, and this war got concluded with Treaty of Lahore. So Treaty of Lahore also happened. This treaty was signed in 1846. Now, apart from that, prohibition of female infanticide and suppression of the practice of human sacrifice among the Gonds of central India, it was introduced during the time of Lord Hardinge alone. And moving on, Lord Hardinge, he was succeeded by a very decorated Governor General, Lord Dalhousie. He remained in office from 1848 to 1856. During his time period, the first thing, he was also an hardcore imperialist, guys. So during his time period, the first thing happened, and that is your Second Sikh War. The Second Sikh War happened during his time period from 1848 to 1849, and the annexation of Punjab happened as a result of that. annexation of Punjab happened after the Second Anglo-Sikh War. The Second Burmese War also happened during his time period, 1852. In this Second Burmese War, which happened, your annexation of lower or southern Burma, it was done. So lower part of Burma, it was annexed here in 1852. The major issue was basically like the trade and the teaks timber there. Apart from that, during the time period of Lord Dalhousie, we find a doctrine which was applied. It was the doctrine of lapse. Everybody knows about doctrine of lapse, and under this doctrine of lapse, so many different areas they have been annexed. We find like, and they are very important, like you have to remember them separately. Like we have Satara got annexed, we have Sambalpur got annexed, we have Jhansi got annexed, we have Nagpur got annexed. So all these areas they were annexed. Annexation of Awadh also happened in 1856. In 1856, annexation of Awadh, it happened, but please remember that this annexation of Awadh, it was not under doctrine of lapse. During his time period, only the president of Board of Control, it was Charles Woods, he sent his dispatch. So Woods' dispatch, it was also sent during his time period. The Woods dispatch, it was sent in 1854, and British assumption of the responsibility of the education of the masses formally begin from this time period, or with this dispatch. Introduction of the railways, it was happened during this time period. The first train was from Bombay to Thane, we all know this. Even telegraph lines, it was established here 1853. The postal system was established here in 1853. All these things happened in 1853. The telegraph line, the first line was from Calcutta to Agra. During his time period only we have found that Widow Remarriage Act of 1856, it was passed. Apart from that, establishment of a separate public work department in every province, it was started. Establishment of public work department during his time period, 1855-56, we found the Santhals, they rebelled. So Santhal rebellion also happened. The next Governor General was Lord Canning. Lord Canning was the Governor General from 1856 to 1857, and during his time period, during his Governor Generalship, we have find the important thing which happened is the establishment of three universities. These three universities, they are very important. The University of Calcutta, Madras, and Bombay. It happened. The specific date you should remember. This thing happened in like 1856-57. So uske alawa, obviously the 1857 revolt happened. This revolt of 1857, it was very important, which happened in this time period. And then after the revolt happened, many things change. Your company's government in India, it was abolished. Your now the crown, it was directly controlling India. Queen Victoria's proclamation or Queen's proclamation was done. Queen's proclamation, it was done here, and even your India Act of 1858, it was also fought, like it was also passed. So Queen's proclamation in Allahabad, at first it was done, बहुत दरबार बड़ा सा लगा था. Lord Canning, it was announced that Lord Canning, he was not just the Governor General, but he was also a Viceroy, and your like India Act of 1858 was also like past year. Apart from that, one sort of white mutiny happened here. White mutiny happened. White mutiny, which happened by the troops of by the European troops of EICO, East India Company, in 1859. Because the thing is, now the company's rule is ending, so there was certain issues of positions and rank. On the issue of that, white mutiny happened in 1859 by the troops of East India Company. And then we have the India Councils Act of 1861. It was passed during his time period only. In India Council Act 1861, portfolios and all those things has been introduced in this. This was your Lord Canning, and Lord Canning as a Governor General from 1856 to 57, and then Lord Canning as a Viceroy from 1858 to 1862. Till now, if we revise, so we have discussed the Governor Generals. Like let's quickly revise them. So we have discussed Warren Hastings from 1773 to 1785, then Lord Cornwallis from 1786 to 1793, then Sir John Shore from 1793 to 98, then Lord Wellesley from 98 to 1805. Then we have seen like Cornwallis and then Sir George Borlow, and after that Lord Minto from 1807 to 1813, Lord Hastings from 1813 to 23, then Lord Amherst from 1823 to 28, then Lord William Bentinck from 1828 to 1835, then Lord Auckland from 1835 to 42, Lord Ellenborough 42 to 44, Lord Hardinge the first 1844 to 48, then Lord Dalhousie 1848 to 1856, and then finally Lord Canning from 1856 to 57, and then he became the Governor General. From Governor General, he became the Viceroy, and he remained as Viceroy from 1862, from 1858 to 1862. So this is the first part of this video. Like in the next video, we are going to continue our discussion. Thank you so much for seeing this video. Like I have mentioned in the beginning, if you like what I'm doing, so please like the video, comment as well, subscribe to the video, press the bell icon. You can follow me on Instagram. You just need to search Ohm's History. You can also follow me on my Telegram channel. It's a dedicated Telegram channel for UGC NET and set preparing aspirants. So you can just search Ohm's History and you will find me. Other than that, you can also find me on Unacademy. I teach history there. So if you're new on Unacademy platform, you might need a code. If you apply this code Om Tiwari, you'll get access to all the free contents there. If you want to subscribe to the Plus platform, you can subscribe as well by applying this code. If you apply this code, you'll get 10% discount. So yeah, that's it for this video. We are gonna meet again in the next video where I will conclude this whole discussion. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye guys.